But it's cool to see though, when you get the everyday age groupers come in, for them to make simple tweaks and changes to their training, they're going to have like massive results, and a big part of it is the mindset. That's like the first thing that, has to change is the mindset. Because like I said earlier, a lot of them come in and they say, oh, I just gotta go hard, and I think it's also because of no, I wouldn't say peer pressure, but everybody in the community more or less is going hard. So if you don't do it, you kind of go like, oh, am I being lazy?
Yeah.
Or you know what I mean? Especially people that train in groups as well. They kind of just, it's competition, right? And they go out and they just like, everybody's trying to outdo each other, right?
And the funny thing is, even we know unwittingly that even if we're not in group settings, we end up competing with the people that we see on social media or magazines. We're not even knowing. That's the standard that we hold ourselves up to, rather than holding ourselves up to our actual current process or experience.
Yeah. So like things like, you got apps like Strava as well, right? Where, people are just, it's all data, right? And everybody's like, oh, look how much I clocked this week, So I think a big part of, again, what I've tried to do in this area in terms of research is really look at how do we help people to train and exercise effectively without taxing their body, and keeping them in that optimum state. Because what I found through the years of working, and myself included, is that, in training, you push yourself past that threshold and it's basically negative returns. So you put in the time and effort, but are you actually getting, gains from it? Essentially, in terms of exercising, you don't want to be doing too much high intensity training, which is what we've seen actually happen, right? And just because, people, that's when you do a search, right, online, those high intensity 20-minute
insanity
workouts.
Everyone's dying on the floor. So
again, a lot of these workouts, you do get a benefit from a fitness standpoint, right? But the impact it has in terms of programming your body, which is what you mentioned earlier, right? Programming it to work for you rather than against you, right? It's actually, the science shows that if you're doing high intensity training, you're just burning sugars, and the science of it is that you don't want to burn sugars. You want to conserve your sugar, your glycogen or your sugar stores, right? So that your body it still needs to function off it, right? But if you deplete it completely, then you're going to have to reload it. And it's that reloading that actually suppresses your fat metabolism. And ideally, we as human beings are by right fat burners. That period of time, again, if you're doing that high intensity training, you're just programming your body to just consume, and it's just learning the wrong things. So to go back to the point of what should you do indoors, right? Again, it's not saying that the high intensity workouts aren't going to benefit you. I think it's good to change it up once in a while. Your body thrives on variation, and it does respond well to bouts of high intensity workouts, but not all the time, right? And I think, and what's more important than that is really doing the right foundational training that gives you the right base, to actually make bigger gains later on. And what they've seen during this whole lockdown period is that many people are getting injured, because they're doing these workouts and they're going in like they've never done anything. They're stuck at home and they start taking on these intense workouts, right? And they're doing it more often. And because they don't realize that it takes a while to build that base, they end up broken.